Hi, I'm Mikata, and this is my I'm only 18 Sorceress. This is a challenge run, and it is in Diablo to Resurrected, unmodded. This is not the usual BT Diablo that I play on this channel. So this is the very start of my run. And what's the I'm only 18 run? It means that after I become level 18, I can use only skills available for level 18. Why 18? Because at, at 18 years old in my country, people are become of age, they mature, and on at that age they can drink alcohol, they can drive cars, they can even uh, go to nightclubs, and they can use teleport. So level 18 for the sorcerers gives access to Glacial Spike, which is an AoE cold skill. Of course, teleport. That's the main reason why I chose sorcerers for this run. Chain lightning, I've tried, but I did not like very much. Enchant and firewall. For this particular run, I also allowed myself to use lightning mastery, cold mastery, and fire mastery, which are passive skills that grant additional damage, because otherwise it would have been really difficult to complete this. I started this run on hardcore, you can see down in the bottom right corner, and you can let me know in the comments how long do you think I will survive uh, on hardcore. Will I make it to the end? My first goal was to get to jail level 1 to see if I can get a map with a boss pack. And I'm that bad at playing and at knowing the maps, at being sorcerers, that I saw my layout and I did not recognize it as a champion Fallen's map. So I gave up on the idea to level in the jail and went to the tower. I leveled up to 18 in the tower, and I used the opportunity to gather some of the early game runes so I can have a stealth and leave rune words. When I got to level 18, I went back to the jail, and what a surprise, it turned out that I've had a champion packs layout all the time. I just had not realized it. So I could have leveled way earlier in the jail, uh, or way sooner, way quicker in jail rather than going to the tower. Of course, uh, going to the tower gave me the early game runes, but that's a point on me to better learn the maps and to recognize the champion's map layout when I see it. I'm jumping way ahead after the initial runs when I was in the tower and in the jail. This is Duriel Nightmare difficulty. I'm something like level 40 at this stage, uh, and I kept this clip to show you my kill speed and how I was fighting the bosses, especially in Diablo 2. So I was trying to lay down a firewall and make the boss walk on the fire so they can get hit by the fire, by the firewall. Because level 18, I'm not allowed to use Blaze or Meteor or Fireball, etc, etc, etc. And Glacial Spike had way less damage, way worse damage than Firewall. After I defeated Duriel, I headed into Act 3, where I faced one of the first remarkable parts of this playthrough, where this boss pack with zombies with mana burn and cold enchanted killed me. So this ended the hardcore part of my run. So after that death, I converted my character to softcore and tried and continued the run. If you have guessed Nightmare Act 3 in the comments, that's great. Thank you for appreciating my content. And next we go to Nightmare Hellforge, where again I'm fighting Hephaestus the same way I fight Duriel before that. And it is getting slower and slower as I progress further and further into the game. Hephaestus was extra fast, if I remember correctly. So it was quite challenging. It was more challenging compared to Duriel to fight. And I was also trying to uh, keep my mercenary alive so I can have access to the insight on his weapon. And I defeated Hephaestus, and it was time to smash Mephisto's Soulstone. And I was pleasantly surprised, pleasantly greeted by the game with a lemon. So I was able to make the so good and so popular Treachery rune word quite early on, actually. After that, I completed Nightmare difficulty and I headed to the cow level. I tried leveling up in Nightmare cows. My layout was pretty difficult. You can see right out of the waypoint, I'm greeted by the Cow King. I tried to maneuver around the cows, but my damage was rather low. Like not using Blizzard at this stage was pretty difficult. Even on players 1, I can barely kill something. And I decided to teleport in the middle of the cows pack because why not? I'm a baller. Continuing the theme of the most challenging part of this run was leveling between 40 and 60 so I can move to Hell difficulty and start pushing towards Hell Ancients. Not being able to use the best skills, the Blizzard skill, the best skill in the game, the most powerful skill in the game, it was pretty challenging to kill monsters. You can see this clip where I tried to kill Bale Waves on players 4, and it was rather tedious. I had to go back to town and heal my mercenary, heal myself, trying to kill the monster. So that was the most challenging. I was just not able to systematically clear Bale Waves quickly enough to be enjoyable as it would have been with Blizzard, for example, or Frozen Orb even. Over here I'm trying to fight Wave 3, trying to keep my mercenary alive, just as usual. I did not find a 4 open socket stuff. Actually, I did not even look for it. I was trying to use an orb I found, you can see, with a shield. So I restrained myself from using Spirit's Ward. That's another item I find to be overpowered, and I don't really enjoy using it, even on Soul Self-Found runs. After I leveled to 60, I was finally able to move to Hell difficulty. And over here you can see me starting Hell difficulty, and I'm showcasing my clear speed. So at this level, Firewall is level 80 plus some points into Fire Mastery, and Glacial Spike is level 20. Did I say 40 for Firewall? Level 20, if I did. So Firewall is level 20, Glacial Spike is level 20 with some points both in Fire Mastery and in Cold Mastery. One of the rather difficult fights, most difficult probably, was the Infector of Souls, where I did the mistake to clear all the rest of the Chaos Sanctuary before I check Infector of Souls. And he turned out to be both fire and cold immune, so it was up to my mercenary to kill Infector of Souls. You can see my mercenary went down, so Infector was able to kill him even one-on-one. so I had to go back, resurrect the mercenary, get back into the fight. So this was quite long and unenjoyable experience. Again, my mistake that I did not come to check Infector of Souls first. Finally, I was able to defeat Infector of Souls, so I was able to move to Act 5 on Hell difficulty. When I got to the Ancients, I tried doing the trick where I create an invisible wall between myself and the Ancients, but I couldn't get it to work. I guess I need to check again what it was. I remembered it as it was to open the teleport when Korlik jumps, and that creates the invisible wall from the point where Korlik uh, jumps, but I couldn't get to the point where the ancients were prevented. I could separate them. So I had to kill them the old-fashioned way. Out of the three ancients, the Talik fight was the challenging part, where he has the biggest damage, so I had to run away from him all the time, even not allowing my mercenary to attack, so my mercenary keeps alive and I have access to the inside. So I was going up and down this lane where the other two ancients are isolated to the right. So I'm sending a few glacial spikes and Talik, teleport, send a few more glacial spikes, and this took another 10 minutes probably trying to fight Talik. When Talik was down, the other two ancients were quite easy. Neither of them were cold immune, so I was able to slow them down and able to kill them. After that, I cleared Baal waves and I killed Baal himself. And this is the end of my I'm only 18 Sorceress run in Diablo 2 Resurrected. None of the bosses provided me any good drops. You can see the Honin's weapon and some yellows, nothing too crazy. And here we are in the harem in level 2. If you know why we are in the harem, you know I'm not going to go in more details. And this is my final character. I called her Nikki at some point in the run, nothing too crazy, level 65, a little bit of strength, nothing in dexterity, a little bit of energy, and a lot of vitality. My resists for hell difficulty are fine. I did not end using the treachery, I kept it on my mercenary. As I've mentioned, this is Diablo 2 Resurrected, so the fade is kept at 5 minutes, I think. The length of the fade duration level 15, I don't exactly remember. So I kept it only on the mercenary. It was not worth it to put it on to proc it and then teleport with fate as well. It was not necessary, actually. So the gear, as I've mentioned earlier, I did not intentionally did not use a spirit sword, so I used an orb like this. I have a couple that have 20% faster cast rate, mana, and lightning resist in this case. Lore Helm, Stealth, Armor, Ancient's Pledge, my leaf stuff that I used for the boss fights whenever that was possible and feasible. Resist and Magic Find on the gloves, Resist Magic Find on the boots, Caster Belt. This one rolled pretty nice, 10 FCR, life, mana, and a little bit of resist. Faster cast rates on both rings, and a crafted amulet with lightning resist. Unfortunately, it rolled only 6 faster cast rate, and I think I couldn't get to the 65 faster cast rate without the rings. I was trying to get over 65 and swap the 2 rings with ones that provide more resist and better resists. The skills that I used, I've already mentioned 20 points into Firewall, 20 hard points, with 13 points into Fire Mastery. Basically, after Nightmare difficulty, between 40 something and 60, I was investing mostly into the Fire Mastery, as it had way better damage output compared to Glacial Spike. Glacial Spike is level 20, Ice Blast is up to level 10, but that provided barely noticeable damage. The 5% cold damage was just insignificant. I think the 10 points Ice Blast moved the damage from low 300s to high 300s minimum damage. And Cold Mastery, I don't know the math. You can teach me in the comments. I'll appreciate it. At what point the Cold Mastery starts making more sense than the raw damage number on the skill. And 1 point into Teleport, as that's the main reason why I'm only 18 challenge run was with Sorceress. The Mercenary, to finish off the gear. So Insight in the Partisan, which rolled level 70 in Meditation, pretty solid. Just what I needed. I did not even check the ED and the attack rating bonus skills. That's my daughter Eli, the beautiful Elena from Bulgaria. Errata's Coil for resists, and the Treachery I've already shown. And at the end I want to show some of the other gear that I have laying around. Rhyme Shield, some other orbs that I have, with another with faster cast rate, but with cold resist instead of lightning resist, with 1 point into Firewall. Even before that, this orb I think I got from Anya Normal, and it has 1 fire skills, a lot of mana, and 17 lightning resist, but no faster cast rate. So when I moved into later stages of Nightmare difficulty and in Hell, I used the 20% FCR so I can teleport faster, apparently. And these are the bunch of the uniques and rares I found. A Savage Bill that I rolled with the Horadric Cube. This was my first and only Savage Polearm roll that I did, and it rolled an exceptional base, which was pretty neat very early on. My first unique, Stout Nail, nothing too crazy. Fun thing, I have a couple of Tangred's Helms and a couple of Mavina's Tenet belts, which I did not use. I have Haumosu Adamant and Athena's Rat. Like you can see, these are the best finds that I've come up with, and they're barely anything reasonable. I was wondering whether I should try Ravenclaw with Enchant and become an Enchantress and try this instead of the Kukushikaku and the Demon Machine, but I did not got into that. And Wall of the Eyeless, again with my FCR amulet that rolled only 6, I couldn't even get the 105 breakpoint, assuming I would put the 20 FCR shield instead of Ancient's Pledge. And that's the end. This was my I'm only 18 challenge run with the Sorceress. I don't play Sorceress very often. I absolutely don't play Sorceress very well, as you have seen during these clips. It was fun. I might give it a try with another character, probably with another skill variation, another level variation as well. We'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!